Good morning, good morning. So let's talk. Let's talk. Millennials, let us talk. Let's talk. I know I hardly ever come live this morning, but I just had to. Hi. So, hi Innocent, hi Tash, hi everybody, hi. So, there's a lot going on in the country right now, and as I woke up, and actually even last night when we were talking about this thing with Habi, something just came up to me. Okay, and if you are a millennial, just drop a heart, because I know 90% of the women who follow me are millennials. Drop a heart and let me know if you are a millennial, because I know 90% of you are millennials. And even the babes I speak with on my private consultations are millennials. And we know ourselves. Yes, I said, look, yes, Tash, we know ourselves. Okay, so yesterday there was this whole protest that went on in Nairobi, because I know I have a mixed bag of people from all over the world. And the common theme that came out was Gen Z and the courage of Gen Z. And it got me really thinking about how even us, at one point, we had that Gen Z energy. I remember when I was 25, I wanted to take over the world. And the one thing I was so passionate about was around beauty. I always felt so strongly about beauty, because I always felt I grew up in a time where a certain skin tone was preferred as the most beautiful color. A certain size. If you were size 10, if you looked a certain way. And I remember those days, I always wanted to be an air hostess. Honestly, that's been one of my secret dreams. And even today, when we are on a flight with hubby, we'll always laugh about it. And he'll be like, babe, you'd be an air hostess. And I'm like, yeah, we probably still would have met, because maybe you would have been traveling. That was one of my secret desires and secret dreams. But I never felt that I would rise up to become an air hostess, because according to society's standards, I was not that pretty woman. And why am I talking about this? Because we are millennials in here. We always had something in our hearts that we wanted to change. And this is gonna land for somebody today. Yesterday, we saw the Gen Z who stood up, who felt called to stand up and go and protest. That was what their calling was. And I speak to many of us, and I decided I'm going to change the narrative around marriage, one wife at a time, because I felt there was so much bullshit that was going on. It was a lot of programming, a lot of conditioning in terms of, oh, be a good wife, do it like this, do not speak like this. If he comes home at 4 in the morning, just open the door, it is okay. And I followed all those rules, and I almost got divorced. And that's why I decided I am going to start speaking up about the lessons that I am learning each and every day. I am not a Gen Z, but I'm just a human being. Now, the reason why I came in here, and let me know if this is landing for some of you, because one of the things, it is so easy once you reach this age, you start to forget, you start to give up. You start to give up and say, oh my goodness, my youthful years are behind me. Or, oh my goodness, I don't even feel like I can follow my calling. I'm here to remind you, you have a calling. You have a calling. And it may not look like you're going to stand and be tear gassed. It can look like something very, very different. I am here to remind you, you have a calling. My calling was, I almost got divorced, and I'm going to pass all the lessons to anybody who wants to hear. And I share that almost every single day. it's turned into be my calling. You too have something that you feel so strongly about, very strongly, and it may even be something like even knitting. It can be anything. And drop a yes if this is landing for you. Even if you're in your office right now, typing that email or wherever you are at, I'm here to remind you, you have something in your heart that you feel very strongly about. And to me, I'm still in the process of discovering what it is my calling is. Because as we sit right now, I know it's bigger than just talking about getting your man to spoil you. However, what I am doing and what I'm also learning from my coaches and from my mentors is wake up and speak about what it is that is in your heart. Whatever it is that excites you. Whatever it is you feel very strongly about. And there's a babe here who is saying, Tash is saying, for her it is fitness. And drop. What is it that you really feel strongly about? And when you say strongly, it's like, it's either maybe you're so passionate about every single day, okay? Tash is talking about fitness. Yeah, it could even be something like beauty. Like for me, that's a huge one. It still is until today because I feel there are such crazy beauty standards for women. I love makeup, I love beauty, but I still feel there is a lot of conditioning around what is beautiful. And it really has an impact on how you can feel as a woman. That's something I can talk about for days. Now, my question to you is, what do you feel strongly about? And there's a baby who is saying for her, it's financial stability. Yes, Naito. For her, it is financial stability. And I'm encouraging you to drop whatever it is that you really feel strongly about. Like sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh my goodness, if I could change one thing, about myself, and most likely it's something you've experienced. For me, I almost got divorced. And I was like, oh, my goodness, I made all these mistakes. Let me share them. So it's turned into be my calling. And I've been nominated. Oh my goodness, now I'd even forgotten. I have been nominated for AfriGlow Awards under one of the most influential women in marriage and family. I'm like, what? Me? All I did was, I learned so many things. I made so many mistakes along the way. And I was like, if a woman, even one woman can take one of my posts and go change her life because of maybe something she read, for the sake of her kids, I'm going to show up and I'm going to post and I'm going to talk about it. Now it's turning into something that's clearly becoming bigger than me. So I want you to think about, what is the one thing that you feel strongly about? Now, and I want to ask this lady, Tash, for you, if it is fitness, I'd love for you to just think back. What is it about fitness? What is it that you feel about fitness? Is there something you feel you can change around fitness? Not even for the world, just for yourself. Because this is how change happens. This is how change happens. And change happens in very small little steps. It can even be something like you, Tash, going to start recording your fitness journey and maybe sharing some lessons. And maybe your angle is you're a busy mom. Yeah, it could be something like that. You could show other busy moms that yes, it's possible to be fit. Maybe you have a story. Maybe you've just given birth. Like for me right now, you can't believe all the women I follow, and the women I've bought for some, like I follow in terms of fitness, I look for wives and I look for mothers with children who are in their fitness journeys. I do not look at 20-year-olds because I am not a 20-year-old anymore. So I look for women who are like, okay, we can relate. And through her, she's helping me change my fitness journey. And through her helping me change my fitness journey, I'm a happier woman. I'm becoming a better mother. So Tash, as you're listening to this, and even as Naitwa is talking about financial stability, and let me see if there's anything else, I'd love for you to drop. What is the one thing that you feel very strongly about as a millennial? And why am I insisting on millennial? We have life experience. We have life experience. And the one thing that is holding you back from sharing, from changing the world in a way that is comfortable for you, is having the courage. And babe, I'm here to tell you, you do not need to go outside and be tear gassed. If that is what you feel you need to do, then that is your calling. Go and do it. You can sit in front here and impact yourself and your world and live this life a better place than you found it, from opening up your mouth and speaking up. Opening up your mouth, having that courage, first of all, realizing that, yes, I do have something to say as I am right now and impacting the world. And I'm gonna talk about millennials because you have lived life. You probably lived 3 or 4 decades in this world. You have something to share. You have something to share. And it will be amazing because most of the people who like from my circle of friends, we are all millennials. And they'll all be like, oh, Linda, oh my goodness, what is that you're doing on the internet? I used to get that a lot because all of them are in proper jobs and they're doing respectable things. And that is okay. But my question is, how are you going to leave this world a slightly better place? We are not here to change the world. We are not here to save everybody. But for whatever is around you, as a millennial, with your experience, you have corporate work experience, you have life experience, you have perspectives. You have a perspective, like even me, this whole wife food thing, this is just my perspective. And I'm here and I'm saying, no, you don't need to serve your husband food. Make sure the food is there, yes, but you do not have to go and serve it for him so that you feel you're a good wife. Those are just my perspectives. But I'm sharing it. And every day I share it, I get DM somebody saying, Linda, this has saved me. It's helped me with my mental health. It's helped me with my self-esteem. I found I was losing myself. And I didn't know I didn't have to get married, to get divorced. Maybe all I needed to do was to prioritize myself differently. So like I started on this live, I choose to change the narrative around wifehood and marriage. I do not have any special skills, by the way. I do not. All I had was something in my heart pushing me and telling me, Linda, speak about this. Speak about your experience. I'm not even certified. This is the time I'm going through my certification. I'll be done in the next year or so. So, ladies, you are smart, you are well educated, you have your MBA. I want you to zoom out the next 5 years. Where are you going to be? What kind of a woman are you going to be? I really want you to zoom out. 5 years from now, 2030. 2030. What kind of a legacy do you desire to leave behind? Because we are wives here. We are wives in this space. What kind of a legacy are you looking to leave behind? I really want you to reflect on that. And as you're reflecting on this, hey, I joined the aerobics team and I just found, oh yeah, so Tash is saying, yes, I joined aerobics team. Tash had mentioned she's feeling this urge to go into fitness. She has a strong passion for it. And I just found myself leading the group. Yes. We have gifts. And I decided to speak about this because many of my clients, they are women who are in corporate, and they have this very strong desire to use their gifts and their talents for the good of society. They have that really strong urge. And mostly it's because they feel like they've either gone through something that they want to share, or they just feel a strong pull towards that, like Tash. And one of the things we go through is I always encourage them to start this journey. Because all this, by the way, is linked with your femininity, whether you like it or not. Because as feminine women, we are expansive. And if you desire to live, and in fact, one of the biggest mistakes is thinking that, you know what, I will start tomorrow, I will start next year. You will probably never start. And can I be honest for a minute? I lost my mom 2 years ago. And I remember a week before she was diagnosed with cancer, I'd gone home to see her. And as we were talking, she had retired for like 3-4 years. And as we were talking, I remember asking her, okay, so mom, okay, fine, all your projects in Shags are done, so what are you going to be doing in the day? So she told me she really had this desire, and I know she had this strong desire. She used to be a teacher. She always used to talk about that idea. And she told me on that day. And she told me she was trying to explain it to some of her friends, what her desire is, and they were not getting it. So she felt so discouraged, like it's nothing. And I remember that day, we had agreed, okay, so mom, there's a school near home. You're going to go and you're going to tell them this is what you're going to offer, to volunteer and spend time with those children. And guess what? 2 days from that conversation, that's how she fell ill, and that was the end of her dream. We are looking at Gen Z on the streets, and we are cheering them on. I'm here to remind you, you have that Gen Z spirit in you. You always had that Gen Z spirit in you. There's a roaring lion inside of you that is speaking, that is calling, that's telling you to change something, lead something, speak about something, share something. To me, that spirit came through my marriage. And he told me, Linda, start sharing posts about your story. And I remember I was so scared that day. I remember that time one of my coaches had told me, Linda, share something that is scary to your audience. And that is the day I decided to share, ladies, I've been separated for 6 months. And we've just gotten back together. That was the most vulnerable thing I've ever shared with anyone, with typically strangers. I had the choice to keep quiet. We would not be here. But I knew somebody needed to hear that story. So the biggest takeaway, and let me see if there are any questions, any comments, anything that's coming up. Let me see if there's any questions, any comments, anything that's coming up. I'm urging you, because I know you are a millennial. The grave is the place with the most potential. You can even look up that phrase. The place with the biggest potential is the grave, because so many people die with their songs in their hearts. I'm here to tell you that there is something special about you. There is something special about your experience. There is something special about your journey. You are worthy. There is something within you. There is something inside of you. Yes, you are working. Yes, you are doing whatever you need to do, but there is something inside of you. That something is called a calling. Something is calling you towards making a big decision today. Whether it is you decide to maybe sign up with a coach, maybe it is to sign up with get help, whether it is to start some business, whether it is to start speaking about an experience, whether it is about starting to change somebody's life, you have that calling inside of you. And all it takes is a decision. Either you decide, no, I'm too scared, which is normal. I get scared every day. Even before I came to press live here, I've not even, I don't have makeup. I'm like, okay, whatever the heck. Let me just come and speak. I'm even taking my tea. Yeah? You have a calling. If you want to finish your degree, Sassy, go ahead and finish that degree. And let me tell you the one thing that completely changed my life. Every generation is meant to outdo the previous generation. Every generation is meant to outdo the previous generation. This is my mother. I have a picture of her. I sit with it. There are times when I really remember her, like today. I sit with it and I look at her. And I have her picture throughout, from when she was in her early 20s, to her 30s, to her 40s, to her 50s, to her 60s. This is her life story. I'm her legacy. Her generation, she did what she could with the best that she knew. I see so many women coming and commenting and saying, oh, I'm in 50-50 like my mother. She should have taught me better. No. Your mother did the best she could with what she knew. With whatever it is that she has done, can you take it and move it to the next level? Take whatever foundation has been set. We are grown-ups. Move it to the next level. Okay. So, ladies, as I wrap up, here's my challenge to you. You're one decision away. You are one decision away. You are one decision away. Will you have the courage to answer the call, or will you go back to what's comfortable and what's familiar? The choice is yours. Okay? And with that, I wish you a beautiful day. If you feel you want to speak with me privately, feel free to send me a DM and let's see the best kind of support I can give it to you. But other than that, have a beautiful day. Bye.